Welcome to day 7 here at the Rio All Suite Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, and a very good morning if you're on Las Vegas time. Billy Thorpe on the left, Roberto Gomez on the right. A key matchup here in the Group B stages of the Bankpool Showdown. It's round 5 and a key matchup, as I said. My name is Jim White, walking you through this, and I'm very happy to be joined all the way from the Netherlands, a good friend of mine, and an expert on Bankpool, Tim de Ruyter. Tim, this is a key matchup, as I said. Let the folks at home know why.
Yeah, so currently at the top of the group, Roberto Gomez. So he has an opportunity to qualify straight to the semifinals if he beats Billy. Billy currently in the second position. So this match is to qualify straight to the semifinals instead of having to play a quarterfinal.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. And just so the folks at home know, there were 12 players, 2 groups of 6 players each. 3 players advance out of each group. As Tim noted, the top player goes right through to the semis, and that's a huge feather in their cap, believe me. And the winner of this match, Billy Thorpe, sitting right now, he's played 4, he's won 3. Gomez has played 4, he's won them all. So Thorpe with a big opportunity here, but he's got to beat Roberto Gomez. And it's fast. A race to 3 rack wins.
Yeah, not so great start for Billy. Didn't feel like he tried to break him that hard, but definitely is bringing the cue ball back to the kitchen just to make sure he doesn't leave a bunch of cross sides near the 9 ball. There's always a couple cross sides staying there, so making it more tactical from the beginning. I think Roberto called a cross side on the 2. Probably bringing the cue ball back where it is now, not trying to sell out on the 5 ball. Yeah, did not really
you'll see
give
a lot
much on the 5.
A lot of tactical play, depending on how the balls sit. You know, they'll try and go one step at a time, make sure they don't leave their opposition anything.
Well, one thing I definitely like about this matchup here is that Billy is by many people known as the best banker in the world, and he plays a quite aggressive style. Of course, he moves just as good, but he definitely is able to shoot from anywhere, so you're gonna see him swing at more shots than someone else. Now Roberto is an excellent one-pocket player, so he knows how to outmove people and to get to first shot. So I expect Billy to be a little bit more aggressive, play more multi-rail shots, two-way shots, compared to Roberto.
All the balls in the bottom half of the quadrant as we look.
Yeah, called the 2-railer on the 2 ball. Just trying to bring the cue ball back with a lot of draw. Has a chance of going, but look at the speed. He's gonna try and send the 2 ball back down table if he doesn't make it. As you see, goes all the way down. To some people that shot might look like he just missed the bank, but there is a tactical value behind it.
We've seen a little bit of both to this stage. As I said, this is round 5. We've seen players firing, and we had a great matchup. Josh Filler beating Shane Van Boning yesterday. Tim and I commentated that, and some good aggressive play from Filler.
Well, first mistake here from Roberto. There is a cross side here on the 5 ball with left spin. Can catch it quite thick as the ball will throw to the right. Now it's just a matter of how do they split either the cross side on the 1. Don't think he has a cross side on the 7 ball. 3 might be in between, so he calls cross side on the 1 ball and trying to run the cue ball into the short rail and in between the traffic. There you go. Another shot at trying to get something more easy, I would say. Hit that great though.
Yeah, he knew the cue ball was coming back into the colors, so he felt like he would have been pretty unlucky not to have left something on. He's got a bank on the 2 here.
Yeah, a little bit more off angle, but with top right spin will open nicely off the rail. Oh, that was a very interesting stroke there. He jumped up quite a bit. Quite surprised actually that happened. See, kinda his cue went up and he raised his body up. Interesting, because I never expected him to scratch there. So Billy loses a point, spots back up.
Yeah, total error in judgment from Billy Thorpe there.
Well, and especially with Billy finally earned himself a nice position to get a good run on the board. So now it's basically a battle for 1 point until one of them gets a better position. As you see, no panic, play the cue ball again. It's a lot of weighing the options. And of course also the one that gets the cue ball frozen to that top rail definitely puts the other in an awkward spot. Ooh, nice shot there. Knew that if he stopped the cue ball, that the only ball he could sell out was that 6 ball. And in order to play that stop shot, the 6 had less speed to rattle up on the corner, so he wasn't even close to rattling, by the way. He hit that as pure as he could shoot it. Now he is trying to back cut this. But similar idea on this ball.
No clear-cut advantage in our opening rack.
Yeah, not much on the 4. Looks like a double kiss to me, unless he tries to play 2 rails and bring the cue ball back up. But As Roberto put him very close to that short rail, it's a shot that Billy is just not interested in shooting.
Yeah, I thought he might go with the 9. Curious to see where he decides to take the cue ball.
Probably just to the center of the table, a hair of right. But he was definitely trying to play pocket speed on the 9 instead of bringing the cue ball all the way up to increase the odds of making the ball. Well, definitely has a straight back on the 4. Is choosing to play the 9 just so he can draw the cue ball out, just in case. Smooth draw on that. If you hit that too firm with the draw, it probably would have stayed up, but he played it so smooth, that's why the 9 ball rattled and still fell.
Well, that kiss on the 4, that certainly helps Gomez. Gets his bridge hand on the table. 2 attacking options here.
7 ball, corner pocket.
So near the 7 ball. Kinda was a must make. That's the thing, as long as you put them with a lot of distance, a lot of banks are way more missable. But whenever they're so near, I really don't expect these two to miss too many balls. So 2 each, has to be careful. He's playing the cross side, the cross corner here. Bring the cue ball back up. Just gotta make sure he plays and the 5 ball and the speed. He's hit this great though, super thin with left spin. Table has been opening up quite a bit on that ball, so players have been hitting it too wide. He adjusted really, really well on that. Oh. Almost scratched. Has left a shot on the 2. And I don't feel like Billy's supposed to not take it on because he's quite near. Good speed. 3 each. Nice opening game actually so far. They haven't missed too many balls. Just that odd scratch from Billy earlier. Battling for 2. Play the 4 rails on the 4 ball. A little bit too short. But then again, he chose that 4-railer to bring the cue ball back up table. He loves that 4-railer, Jim. We might see him make it somewhere. Straight back on the 4. I would say he places with inside spin, so top left, bringing the cue ball 3-4 rails up table. No. Chose not to do too much with the cue ball and to go all at it on the 4. That could be a very costly mistake. That 8 ball looks like it goes cross corner. Either the 3 or the 8 actually looks like it goes to the cross corner. Oh, well, it's tight. I was wrong there. kind of turned out all right for Roberto. Could have played a stronger cue ball there. Might have left Roberto either the 8-ball 4 rails or straight back on the 8, but I'm expecting it.
8-ball.
Yeah, he's called the 8, 4 rails. Oh, little wide, and the speed was not what he was looking for. Was trying to leave the 8 close near the hole. This is a tight opening rack. Ooh, close. That's the only thing that can happen when you take on a straight back like that, is sometimes you hit them so close to making that they rattle and they leave something for your opponent. Still could have been worse for Billy. It's not like he left him straight in, but there is a straight back where he can play pocket speed, a lot of inside, or 2 rails in the corner.
8-ball, corner pocket.
No, he's going a very smooth stroke.
Extension.
Finally poised too, Tim, and obviously neither player really wants to make a mistake that's going to be costly in this opening rack.
Yeah, that's why this is such an important shot. You know, you just don't want to swing at something aggressive here and now sell out. So he's going to try and 2-rail this 8. I feel 2-rail the 8 is the best option, leaving the cue ball near the short rail. This might leave a cross corner. He got quite fortunate there. He spun it too much, Jim. That's tough to do. He actually hit too well of a stroke on that to make it short. By saying he got a little bit fortunate, that 8 got just froze enough to where I don't think there's a cross corner. So Billy actually tried to make the 8 in the corner and draw the cube all the way back, and he failed to do so. And look at what he's given Roberto.
He hasn't picked his chalk up yet. Maybe the referee was just about to get it. Great shot. And needs just one more.
Yeah, nice touch there. Looks like he's feeling the table quite alright. If you look at the speed, look at that cue ball. Knew that from that position where he put the cue ball, the 3 is always a difficult straight back. And then the 4 is, he's called a 4, but from this angle I don't even know if it goes. Cross corner on the 3 ball here, Jim. The 4 is too near the rail. I think it's on the double kiss. Joking with the referee there, Roberto, because the referee already called that he was going to shoot the 3 cross corner. Then he said, well, I'm not too sure yet, actually. Referee, I mean, I already called it like the referee did, so. Oh, hit that well. Game winner.
Yeah, it sure was. Good way to finish, Roberto Gomez. He hasn't dropped a match in the Bankpool Showdown, not yet. He leads Billy Thorp 1-0 in the race to 3.
Yeah, like I said, many people would expect Billy to heist this tournament. But there's quite some good bankers out there. And especially in a race with 3 short rack banks, so many things that can happen. They can all run 5 and out. Nowadays, everybody's starting to play the game a lot smarter too. So, yeah, you can lose. I mean, it's a short race.
We have another Group B clash following this one on the same table. Well, used to be an all-Filipino match, but Alex Pagulayan, well, he's flying the Canadian flag now. Bustamante and Pagulayan, 2 great friends off the table, but it's all business when they're at it. That'll be next, but we're into the second rack of this important match.
Nice square hit. Made the wing ball. Will spot back up after his turn. Cue ball got kissed up table, and tough to say if that 2 ball goes cross corner. The 8 might be in between. Still might be able to play a straight back on the 8, cross corner on the 4. It's called the straight back. Kinda has to go here. I don't see a place on the table where he can hide in case he doesn't make it. Yeah, that's why he stopped the cue ball. Billy has a straight back on the 7, I believe, but it's very near the 6, so would prefer to shoot something else. Does the 2 ball go to the corner? Yeah. And he can leave the cue ball near the side pocket to not sell out just in case. Cross side on the 6 is there, but we'll have to go all in again. If you make it, it's either the 4 or the 9 right after, so quite some value. But of course, it's always if you make it. If you don't, you might leave Billy enough to hit a gear. Or is he no, he's going cross corner 9. Might be a safer option.
Good looking shot. He's taking the cue ball into an area where nothing easy now. Not that there ever is in Bankpool.
Oh, that was close. And usually Roberto is this kind of player to where if he can bank something and play the cue ball at the same time, so a little bit of safety in mind on the side, that's where usually he makes more banks. So in the wide open layouts, he's maybe not so effective, but as you could see on that 9 ball, to where if he places the cue ball in a funny position for the next one, he usually makes it. Ooh.
Another miss hit from Billy. You don't expect those to be as far away as that one was.
Side pocket.
This is another one of those, like I just explained. Roberto can play the cue ball to the right short rail. Can just try to feel the shot near the side, and if he doesn't make it, there's not much that he can sell out on. He didn't even play the cue ball, he went all in on that. He must be feeling good, knowing that you could leave the 7 right after. Sometimes you have to though, I mean you cannot always duck, but...
Side pocket.
2-0 now in ball count. Oh, what's
Cue
the
ball.
scratch?
Foul.
Oh. Oh.
Whoops.
Trying to help the referee out, almost fouled again. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate to scratch there though. He knew that he was always going to have a shot on the 6 if he would go 2 rails, but just the pace got him there.
Oh,
wow.
another bad miss from Billy Thorpe. You really don't expect this, as you noted at the outset of this match. Billy is one of the most respected Bankpool players in the world.
Yeah, Roberto is just picking up the pieces here. Has a cross side on the 2. Could also cross side the 1 ball. I do like the 2 ball though. Could do a little bit more with the cue ball. See a little bit of nerves there.
Two balls, side pocket.
Oh, he's missed it. At least try to leave Billy as awkward as possible.
One ball, side pocket.
Overspun. Well, so far Roberto's strategy is definitely working on Billy because kind of got Billy out of stroke there.
Six ball, corner pocket. Corner pocket.
Is he trying to press this real short? Yeah, wow. Just a tad too wide, but it was already so tough to make that short because he was aiming way thinner with a lot of inside and a really smooth cue action. Makes that 8 ball go short. Well,
Wow. In shape to the 3.
well, also he took a shot at it because he knew if he made it, he would have a chance to win. And there's 2 balls out of play, so it was always going to be tough for Billy to run out 5 with just 5 available. This is to get a 2-0 lead. Right? No.
Well, he's got 3 in this one, so he needs 1 more
Yeah,
after this to get 2-0.
He made the 4 and scratched, so that's how he got put back on 2. Slight miscount. Straight in the side. And probably defense here. Yep. First thing Billy does is trying to get those balls back into play. He knows he can still run 5 and out, so it's not a matter of it's impossible to win from here. It's only 5 banks, and definitely Billy has done that so often in his life. So it's just a matter of trying to play the correct move, try to play the balls back into play, and then when you get something, you got to be there. Oh, this is interesting. Got fairly lucky there. That was wild.
I think, like you said earlier, Tim, he knows he's got 1 ball dead in the corner pocket, the 8. He knows Billy needs 5. Basically, only 4 are in play, so maybe a valued risk.
Yeah, the only thing though, and Billy has missed that, but I was gonna say if Billy makes this, gets on the 9, he could potentially have ran 4, and now suddenly after that sloppy safety, you might be 4 each. So it was a tricky one, but I mean it works. He's back at the table. He can hit this quite thick with left spin to throw the ball off the rail in the side. Just opens up a little bit more with that tad of left. Yeah, there it is. 2-0.
Yeah, surprising score. Billy Thorpe looking very much out of sorts. He's never really threatened Roberto to this point. And Gomez has yet to taste defeat in this event. And if he's going to lose this one, Billy Thorpe has to win the next 3. 40,000 in total purse. 16,000 up front to the eventual winner. Runners-up purse of 10 grand. They initially started with 8 invitees into this event. First year that the Bankpool Showdown has come to our screens. An invitational event. As I said, they invited 8, and so popular they expanded that field to 12. 2 groups of 6. The winner of each group straight through to the semifinals. 2nd and 3rd, while they cross over, playing 3rd and 2nd respectively in the other group in the quarterfinals for a place into the semis to join the group winners. And this match is really for a place in the semifinals. The winner here assured of winning Group B.
Well, another good break. 2 balls down. Could have had a little bit better layout right after, but he has a shot on the 7. The 9 is nearby. So possible 2 to start with. It just depends on what kind of shot you get on the 9. I would focus on making this 7 ball because it's not really lined up easy. And it's so speed dependable if it opens up a little bit more or it shuts down. So just trying to stay on the line. I'd rather maybe play it safety of mine too, bring the cue ball to the short rail. Oh, he went aggressive, good shot there. Cross corner on the 9, just top spin, will bring the cue ball to the center of the table. And then I believe he has the 8 right after. This is a really good chance for Roberto to close it down. Yeah, he kind of misjudged the throw there. He also looks like he pushed the ball a little bit more than he hit it. Kind of let off there for Roberto. Billy could have been in a lot more trouble. So 2 balls spotting back up from the break.
The time has come for Billy Thorp to stand up and be counted.
Well, that's the interesting thing about banks too. I've played bank pool matches where just in the beginning I could not make any ball at all. Just like any cross side, you were straight in, overspinning, too short, too long, and then suddenly everything clicks, and now you run like a 3, a 5, and then on hill you run 2 2s, for example. And people come up to you and say, "Wow, you played so great," even though you could not make a ball the first 2 games, for example. It's like it can be so weird, and that thing does not happen in rotation pool either. Different vibe. Again, one of those weird things happening with Roberto. He had a similar shot to this last game. Went so fast, I barely seen what happened there.
2 ball, corner pocket.
Well, this is one of the best chances Billy Thorp has had. A very makeable bank into the side on the 6. You'd expect him to get this.
Again, with top right spin, can run into those 4 balls, so possibly something else shaping up nice. Ooh, he's missed the 6 and he's caught the 8, so cross corner here, straight back on the 8, unless he plays shape for the 1 ball to the side. No, he just tried to float that 6 in. Yeah, you cannot leave Billy too close to the straight backs though. At some point he's gonna strike him well. He's on 3. That's why some players would choose to just make the 6 and leave the cue ball on the short rail. He's already thinking about maybe putting some balls out of play. He's played good pace here. To shoot or not to shoot? Making this brings him on 4 on the hill to win the game. Decides not to shoot. Stay patient. Like you mentioned before yesterday, Jim, having the lead also means that you don't have to. Just stay patient and wait for a better opportunity. For Roberto, time is ticking in this rack.
Three ball corner pocket.
Well, that was a big shot. He went all out. All in for that one.
Yeah, and I cannot expect this to go wrong for Billy. I mean, I don't want to jinx him by any means, but he's straight in on the cross corner on the 8. And just with slight stun draw, has either the 9, the 3, or the 1 ball. That's 1. Needs 1 more to open his account in this match.
Three ball. Side pocket.
Oh, wow.
Wow. He has missed some shots in this match.
9 ball corner pocket.
Ooh. Almost stayed up, that 9 ball. And look at the shape he would have given Billy if that hung up, so...
One ball side pocket.
You see, sigh of relief there on his face. So glad that went. Can play himself possibly on a hill game here. If he makes the 1, straight backs the 4 ball. Ooh.
Just the speed keeping that ball on the table. It was halfway into the side pocket.
Yeah, the thing is with banks though is that most of the players under the gun, they like to swing at something instead of trying to play pocket speed or shorter stroke. So he really liked to play full stroke on that side pocket. This seems close. This seems close. Beautiful shot there.
Great way to finish that rack. Billy Thorp finally bothers the scorekeeper. 2-1 still in favor of Gomez. But a good way to finish this one, and much needed.
Yeah, beautiful stun left spin to check that 1 ball to go short.
Well, Tim, looks like the players are going to have a very short break, so time for a quick break for us too. Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back. Great to have you back. A 2-1 score in favor of Roberto Gomez, bringing both players back to the main stage here. Billy Thorpe to break. He won the last, so we'll see if he can carry on with the momentum that he has wrested away from Gomez. He's had a lot of chances to score in this match. He's not been at his best, but he's still in the hunt.
Yeah, definitely for everybody that got to see the stats while we were having a break. If you look at the maximum run of both players, 2 is definitely too low, I would say. For how well they both play banks, I would assume they would run more balls. But it's still early. We might still get to see some big runs. Only shot he has here is possibly cross side on the 8. Yeah, he's not happy because balls are just not lining up so nicely to go right after the break, which is one of the most important opportunities, of course. Is he playing this cross corner? Might be safer for the cue ball. Yeah, new cloth with that speed always going to open up more. But as you could see, he was trying to leave the cue ball in a more tricky position for Roberto. Did leave a straight back on the 4 ball though, which looks quite alright. No, chose to go cross corner on the 6. Quite aggressive. We will probably see him play shape for the 4 ball and the 2 ball. Oh. Double kiss. Could be worse. Of course, has left a medium straight back, so not too bad, but could have left a lot more cross side, cross corners. Nice opener. Let's see. I think he's on the double kiss again on the 6. Now there's always a way to cut it a little bit more with stun left and twist the ball over, but prefer to shoot center ball, of course, or just minimum hints of spin. Straight back to the left on the 4 is there. Run the cue ball softly into the 2. Kind of free shot here he's taking on. Yeah, Billy currently scraping the points. No big runs, no fancy multi-railers. He's just trying to hang in there as he's not been queuing so great. The balls are not laying too great either for him. I think he's only had 2 opportunities where I felt he was going to run higher numbers. Not sure what Billy's idea was on that. Possible straight back on the 1, and like I mentioned, those are just just free shots basically. It's just shoot one to make one, but cannot really lose much on shooting it.
Similar sort of position that we saw in the very first rack, where a lot of safety play ensued.
Oh, nice. Oh, I thought he made that. That looked so close. Especially if you look at the cue ball. Yeah, because it looked like it was going quite deep into that short rail knuckle, but just a little bit outside. Took care of the cue ball though, so. Oh, that's a cute shot there. Cut it more with low right spin to still twist the ball to the left. Not much right spin though, it's just a hint. As the center ball also throws the ball out, so that's the thing. There's so many combinations with stun and hints of left and right that most of the people don't even think about, you know. Most of them, they just think about playing a stop shot or a straight draw.
Again, the score dictating what Roberto does. 2-0 in the second, well, would be the second winning rack for Billy Thorp. Roberto's got to be a little bit more aggressively minded now. Can't sit back too long.
It's either nicking the 7 and bringing the cue ball 2 rails back up table, or nicking the 8. A little bit slow there. Don't think he's left a shot, but he also, within the safety battles, you're trying to push the cue ball to that short rail over and over to make it awkward cueing for your opponent.
Chance to attack, and Gomez looks like he's winding it up.
Well, went aggressive, left the cross side on the 5. This could be very costly with Billy being on 2. You see, you don't really have to run 4 and 5 and outs over and over to beat top players, but you gotta be there at the right times, and if you make 2 of them over and over, it will be tough to beat. That's 1. Does he have a cross corner on the 1 ball? I don't think so personally. I would say the 2 balls in between, but he has called it. So he's probably going to take care of the cue ball up table. No, slid that in. Nice shot. Straight back on the 8, or is he playing a cross corner and just trying not to sell out? Yeah, slid that in. Just past the 2. And the same shot on the 3. What an out.
I'll tell you what, he has played himself into form, and now He's erased the 2-0 deficit. It's 2 apiece. And Billy Thorpe will break in the 5th and deciding rack to see who is going to be the group winner in B through to the semifinals. How big is this last rack? Both players get the towels out, Tim. This is sweaty palm time, to be sure. How about that out from Billy Thorpe, though?
Yeah, definitely his best run so far this match. Ran 3 and out. Put more into the break, but lost the cue ball a bit. And definitely not a horrible roll he caught there. If you look at the layout, 7 balls on the cue ball side of the table, so you would expect to get something. If you are Roberto, you're expecting to be able to swing at something. I might just make the 1 ball, leave the cue ball tucked behind the 5, and the 1 ball spots back up. I'm not shooting the 8 under the gun here. Being tied at 2, you were leading 2-0, so I'm not playing that aggressive no more.
He's having a good think.
Oh, he did call the 9 into the corner pocket, right in between the 3 and the 7. Oh, what a shot. Found the window. Look at this. Had to play it firm to shorten it up, and he has done that perfect.
That one split the uprights. Pretty good cue ball.
Yeah, what to shoot here? There is a really aggressive shot on the 1 in the side pocket, but he's also hampered by the corner pocket knuckle a bit though. So let's see, maybe he'll just roll up on the 3. Yeah. Just trying to stay in it, you know, and you don't really have to position the balls better. Just make sure you don't give Roberto something to swing at.
He feels like he can spin the 1 off that cushion and in. Very narrow window for this shot.
Yeah, super tight. A lot of right spin, maybe to twist it, to open it up. Oh, that was super close. Nice shot. And he's got the 3 ball right after. Safety apparently not well enough from Billy.
This is a round robin match. You must play all 15 games. It is not like when you're back at home with 13 wins. You must play all 15 games.
Looks a little bit wide, so we'll have to play with a hint of inside spin. It's either that or banking the 2-ball. 2-ball will slide in if you play the right speed. And you could play shape on the 6-ball as well. Potential run out.
Too wide.
But I jinxed it again. It's not like the balls are not laying too great, but you know, sometimes they can just show up straight in and the only thing you got to do is make sure you have a solid stroke, and then sometimes you have to turn the ball, twist it over and over. And we've seen that the first match Tony Chohan played, everything he shot at was close, but yeah, just not going in. Cross corner. Right into the heart of the pocket.
Yeah, you feel that Billy needed that one. He's got to stay on Gomez's coattail here.
Yeah, one more like that, but missed it quite too short. And I think the 6-ball dressed up really nice for Roberto. No, it didn't. So a little roll there. Would say the momentum is with Billy at the moment. You know, catching a couple rolls here and there. Hanging into the match, even though he didn't look too great from the beginning. Score just being 2-1 in ball count, so things could be way worse. Possibly just playing safe. 6-ball to the top left corner and the cue ball to the bottom short rail.
This one from the Kamui group. And the winner is Ronnie Quinn. You go to the blue group to the prize package. Congratulations.
Yeah, just like that, making that 5-ball really tough. Definitely a ball most of the players would not like to shoot from being so close to the rail. But now Roberto, he plays a lot of one pocket, so he likes that softer pace, lagging the 5 to the corner. Cue ball runs to the top long rail, so might not sell out too much if he doesn't make it. And how well has he hit that? Super close. Good try. But this is one of the risks, though. If you go for that shot and you don't make it, most of the time you leave a cross corner, and that's a quite high percentage shot for most of the pros.
Eyeball that corner.
Wow. And then again, did he get the cue ball a little bit lucky? There might be a straight back on the 4-ball. The only thing I would just try to avoid is not carrying the 7 ball in.
Gomez kind of smiled wryly as he came to the table, just feeling like Billy's got another roll.
Nothing aggressive.
The event's been very well received. It's drawn good crowds. It's one of those, you know, Bankpool, one of those exhibitions you see a lot. And when you see these top players performing, and you see how creative they are and the skill level, it really draws the imagination of all the people that come out to watch.
Oh, that was quite aggressive still to go for that bank. I was expecting him to play safe, shoot the 6 into the 2 and send the 6 ball down table. He felt like he had a shutter to the side, super close, but a good cue ball control.
Well, that's 4 of the 6 pockets covered.
Yeah, slightly favoring Roberto, of course, with a 2-1 lead in ball count. Still, possibly he might go for the straight back on the 8 and blocking the top corner as well, top right corner. He's checking up. He plays more pace. Ooh, nice shot there. And that's such an important ball, because being on 3 with just 1 ball available on the table, Billy will have to make a huge grind in order for him to still be able to win the game, you know, to get there. It's just 1 ball in play.
That was tracking towards the corner pocket. It would have been close. Well, there's a danger getting the cue ball out of the way. Same attacking shot into the other side for the 8. Now he can start bringing balls back into play with safeties, and
I think he's got the hook behind the knuckle there, Jim.
yeah, that's a nifty little shot, that one.
Now, of course, Roberto is trying not to make too many balls because he has a slight lead. But in this case, kind of was forced by Billy to do so, as he couldn't go for the 8 in any way. And Billy is just going to try and get all the balls in play. So he's gonna nick the 5 ball in, cue ball back up. Then I think everybody back home can guess what's the next move. So it's either you're trying to get one of the 3 balls out of play as soon as possible, or you make the 4 and it spots back up and you let Billy take the safety shot on the 4 balls lined up. Yeah, try to close the game a little bit. I think he's done well there. But same thing for Billy. I don't think it hurts to make the 4 and bring it back into play as long as he can get the cue ball back up.
Good cue ball. Very good cue ball.
Well, that pace is just so important because the 8 and the 9, they go into the rail and come back out. You kind of are trying to get them to line up. There might be a straight back on the 8. Looks like he might be able to just barely beat the kiss and run the cue ball softly into the 5 ball. No, he's not taking it on.
Narrowest of leads for Gomez in the deciding rack. And again, the winner of this rack will win Group B. Will be assured of a semi-final place and a chance at the $16,000 winner's purse. So a lot at stake. That's why they're being so cautious.
Well, if you just imagine Billy being down 2-0 and we both actually being worried, I would say, because he really wasn't looking too great and now he's battling it out last game to still be able to advance as a group winner. That's Banks. I mean, can go so different, can turn around so fast. Let's see, not much to attack on, only a 4-railer on the 8. But then again, he would like to, yeah, I think he's called it, but would like to at least get the cue ball back to the left long rail near the side pocket. Oh, it's close. Not close enough, but was not really going to sell out too much. Unless Billy pulls one out of his sleeve and twists the 8 in straight back. Just slightly too short here. I also feel he probably would have been closer to the pocket if he didn't think about the cue ball. But that's the style how they play. Cue ball first. That was the speed. This is speed. Now, I would be surprised if Roberto just shot in this 9 straight back just to go all in. Yeah, I was gonna say so. He was going to leave too much, either the 8 or the 5 ball.
It's almost one of those racks that it's going to have to be won because it doesn't look like it's going to be lost. Nothing careless. Probably the first wayward safety we've seen, where cue ball didn't get to where Billy wanted it.
Table 56.
Well, not too much distance, so he feels like he has to shoot at this, and I kind of agree. You're not going to get a better shot than this for a long time. He's shooting to the bottom right. And he just missed it. And left Billy quite bad here. That bump on the 5 really spoiled the fun for Billy. Oh, nice shot there. Beating the kiss and making sure the 8 doesn't go over the 4. You see, he didn't have a full pocket there with how the 4 was laying. Nice step from Roberto. He knows that he had a chance there if he had made the 9. So 3 each. Things are starting to get really tight here.
And with it, the tension mounts.
9 ball, that corner pocket.
Oh, that's a classic. Did you see that turn on that ball? Just center ball. Stun pressed it. Overcut it by a mile, but the turn on the balls made it go straight in, hit that beautiful. And he's about to steal this match here, Billy. He's shooting for the W, for the win.
Oh, in emphatic fashion, Billy Thorp comes good. He trailed 2-0 at one stage and then ran out the rack to get to 2-2 and ran out the rack to get out